We tagged this message this morning, LazyBoy Christianity. LazyBoy Christianity. Before we get started, I want you to watch something with me. Watch this.
It says you are trained in technology. That's very good. Are you adept at Excel?
No.
PowerPoint?
No.
Publisher?
Not really.
Exactly in what area of technology are you proficient?
Snapchat, Pinterest, Instagram, Vine, Twitter. You know, the big ones.
I'm surprised you didn't say Facebook.
That's for old people, like my parents. That's funny.
Well, Amy, when you're working for me, you have to have those kind of research skills because I'll send you things for you to comb through and get the answers and send them to me. So for that, you got to be really good at technology.
For stuff like that, no problem. I'll just ask Siri.
You'll just ask Siri?
You know, Siri tell me this, Siri find me that. We're all good at getting you the answers.
Tell Siri I want you ready to go at 8 sharp each and every morning.
I don't understand.
What don't you understand?
What you just said.
You don't understand be ready to go?
No. You said 8, right?
Yes.
8 like in the morning 8?
Yes, in the morning.
Yeah. That kind of doesn't work for me. Who gets up at 8?
I do.
I Skype with my French boyfriend in Paris until like 3 in the morning. I don't even get to Starbucks until like 10, where I order my grande chai tea latte, 3 pumps, skim milk, light water, 2% foam, extra hot, but not too hot. So if it's okay, I work best in the morning at 10:45.
Wow. Amy, I don't think we're going to be a good fit.
Why are you so negative? I can sense your hostilities, and right now I am not feeling very safe. I've been here for over 5 minutes, and the only nice thing you have said to me was nice resume, which I typed all night for this meeting with you. You've given me no guidance, no validation, no encouragement, no supervision. Is there an HR director somewhere?
HR director?
Yes, I need to speak to someone. I may have to take off today as a mental health day.
Take the day off. Amy, look at me. You don't work here.
Are you firing me?
Okay, yes.
Wow. How would you describe that young lady? Not all at the same time. Would you say she was self-centered? You can talk back to me, it's okay. Yes. Selfish? Yes. I would say so. It was very, very clear. It was very clear that she absolutely had to have that special created coffee, that latte, every morning before she could get her day on. And when the interview went south, she said she wanted to talk to the HR director because she wanted to take a day off for a mental health day. Lord have mercy. Here's the question I have for you. Did she feel entitled? I think so. She said she needed validation and encouragement, and it was obviously that she believed she deserved that job just because she showed up. Entitled. Now, I've raised 5 kids, and got 14 grandkids. Sometimes they think they're entitled. Thank you, Tony. Sometimes they feel they're entitled to things like they don't have to work for things. I got one grandson that calls me up and, Papa, yeah, I need $50. devil need $50 too. I guess he does like once a month. But sometimes I think our kids can get to the point where they feel that they do not have to work for things that is just should be given to them. Now, she was lazy. Unquestionably, yes, she was lazy, and she stayed up all to about 3 o'clock in the morning, Skyping with the boyfriend over in Paris, and 8 o'clock only come once in a day, and it was not in the morning. Who gets up at 8 a.m., she says. She's a fine example of what we're talking about this morning. And the King James Version is a little clearer when it calls it a abundance of idleness. This is the kind of sin. Abundance of idleness has been around for centuries, and it's kind of a feeling of an entitlement, selfishness and laziness, and it is all wrapped up in one little neat package. You know anybody like that? Don't look at your neighbor. You know anybody like that? I'm pretty sure we all do. I can just name something in my family that's like that. I know, but not you guys. I know you have those perfect families. I come from a very dysfunctional family, so we all like that. But one of the terms the Bible uses for this kind of behavior is slothfulness. Okay? If you look at the book of Proverbs in the 12th chapter, the 24th verse, it says, the hand of the diligent will rule, while the slothful will be put to forced labor. In Proverbs, the 19th chapter and the 15th verse, it says, slothfulness cast into a deep sleep, and an idle person will suffer hunger. Basically, what it means, if you don't eat, if you don't work, you don't eat. I think it's what our kids need to learn nowadays. Is if you don't get out there and get it, no chicken get to the table, or no bacon in the morning, or whatever you want to eat. But here, check this out. See, God did not create us to sit around and do nothing. When God created Adam and Eve, what special place did he create for them? Somebody know, somebody know what the answer is, right? The garden. Speak up, you can speak up. Yeah, it's the garden, that's right. And see, he created this garden for them. Now, what do you do with the garden? You plant vegetables, flowers, you weed it, cultivate it, spray it for bugs, you work in the garden. That's probably the reason why I don't have one. It's too much work. Cutting my grass alone is enough. But if you look at Genesis, in the book of Genesis, and the 2nd chapter in the 5th verse, we are told before God created that garden, no bush of the field was yet in the land, and no small plant of the field had yet sprung up. For the Lord God had not caused it to rain on the land, and there was no man to work the ground. So did nothing grow. Because he had not placed Adam in that garden yet, so he didn't let it rain. Nothing grew because there was nobody there to work it. So here's what we learned so far. We are created by God to do honest labor. Somebody say amen. Now I know all of us in here got a job. We go to work. Okay? And if your kids don't have one, I know you push them out that door every morning if you're not going to school. Find a job, kid. Find a job. And we also have learned that sloth, laziness can make us poor. But the people that God condemned in Sodom were not poor. Ezekiel tells us that not only they had abundance of idleness, but they also had abundance of bread. And then that kind of makes me think, which was probably the reference to their wealth. They had more food than they know what to do with. So their laziness is obviously not making them poor. In fact, it seems that their riches are making them lazy. Make sense? I ain't got to do nothing. I got everything. Everything that I need, I have. So I can just lay around. 1:30, Young and Restless come on. 8 o'clock tonight, the have-nots in the hand, whatever you call it. I don't have to do nothing. I don't have to do nothing. I don't have to do nothing. But and I got to thinking here. Why then would God say to the Sodomites, why would he call them slothful? In the book of Matthew, Jesus tells a parable. It's the 25th chapter of Matthew, and it's from the 14th to the 30th verse. I'm not going to read it word for word, but I'm just going to go through and give you some of it. It starts out with this. For it will be like a man going on a journey. He called his servants and entrusted them with his property. To one he gave 5 talents. To the other he gave 2 talents. To another one, to each he gave 1 talent according to their ability. Then he went away. He who had received 5 talents went at once and traded with them and made 5 more. So also he who had 2 made 2 more. But he who had received 1 took that 1 talent and dug a hole and put it in the ground. And so he hid his master's money. Now, after a long time, the master comes back. And he's ready now to settle his accounts. And then the one who had received 5 talents came forward and bringing the 5 talents and 5 more, saying, Master, you delivered to me 5 talents. Here I have made 5 talents more. So his master said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little. I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master. Okay? Now, the one that had the 2 talents came back with 4. And the master said to him, good and faithful servant, you have been faithful over little, I will set you over much. Now it came down to the one that had the 1. Here's what he says. Master, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you did not sow, and gathering is where you scattered no seeds. So I'm afraid, and I went and I hid your talent in the ground. Here you have what's yours. But his master answered to him and said, you wicked and slothful servant. You knew that I reap where I have not sown, and I gather where I have scattered no seed. Then you should have took what I gave you, went and talked to them bankers down there, and put it in the bank, got some interest on it, and bring me my money back plus interest. So then he says to him, he says, now take what he has and give it to the one with 10. Then he took the one that dug the hole. But wait a minute. Slothful and lazy. But the one that dug the hole probably did more work than any rest of them, didn't he? He did some physical work. He dug a hole. But because he did not do right with what was his master's, he said, take it from him, give it to the one who has 10. Then what happened was, he cast him out. He cast him out. He called him a worthless servant, cast you into the outer darkness, into a place where there be weeping and gnashing of teeth. But why? At least he did dig a hole. He did do some work. So why was this guy condemned as slothfulness? Why? He buried it. He didn't use it. He hid it. And then he gave it back to the master. If you don't use our gifts, if we don't use our gifts that God has given us for the kingdom, we are being slothful. That's not just this servant, that's each and every one of them. Sodom was a mighty city, but it was apparently a very slothful city. They didn't use what God had given to them for anybody but themselves. They were selfish. They were self-centered. And they believed what they had, that they were entitled to. They did not have to work for it. They believed it was just supposed to be given to them. In Matthew 25, the master punished the servant because he was slothful. In Ezekiel, we're told that God destroyed the city of Sodom because they were a slothful and lazy city. That's many of our churches. We don't want to do nothing. We think if we come here on Sunday morning, excuse me, and just grab a seat, get your Vines fix or a coffee and other sweet rolls over there, and everything's going to be okay. That's all we need to do. And I don't know about you, but if that makes God angry, I don't want to be slothful and lazy. Somebody say amen. Let me tell you a short story. A pastor friend of mine told me a story years ago about a problem he had with his church. Church members had told him that they wanted to grow. And every church wants to grow, especially when he's a new pastor. He's a new pastor in town. But when this church had a few families visiting, none of the members would welcome them. Nobody wanted to help out in the nursery, Camp Lakeside. Trying to get that one. And any other ministries. They didn't want to help out with the young folks because they would say, I've worked for this church for years and I've earned the right to sit in the sanctuary, enjoy the worship on Sunday morning. I deserve the right just to sit down and listen. Let's be clear. These people were slothful. They believed that going to church was all about them. It was all about them. Church was all about what they were entitled to. I've been given a blessing from God. I refuse to serve anymore because I've put my time in. I retired from serving anybody else, and all I'm going to do now is just sit here and just get it all. I'm just going to absorb all of this gospel. I'm not going to help nobody else. This is what we refer to as a lazy boy kind of Christianity. And I know I'm knocking on LazyBoy. They've got some of the great chairs in the world. They're very, very comfortable chairs. And I'm telling you, I really love the zero gravity chair. And I love the massage chair. And I think I have one at home too. Press the button. Woo! And I like that one there too. And also I tell you, the best chair they have is that office chair. It is totally awesome. So that'd be a good Christmas gift for anybody. Let me know. Okay. But check this out. And those are great chairs. And they're very comfortable chairs. And that's a great selling point for a piece of furniture. But it's a terrible concept when it comes to how we should live our lives for Jesus. If you look at Romans, the 12th chapter, 11th verse, There's never been a lacking of zeal, but keep a spiritual faith in serving the Lord. In other words, we have to walk like we're trying to get there. We got to walk in authority for Jesus and don't be idle and don't be slothful and we have to walk like we're serving a God that can do anything. We're serving a God that can heal the blind. We're serving a God that can make the lame walk. We're serving a God that laid down for 3 days and got back up. We're serving a God that can do anything. And I'm going to close here. But as I close with this, the problem with too many Christians is that they get used to being in the ideal of retirement. And they believe that there should come a time in their life when they don't have to do anything. And they wait eagerly to the day where they can just sit around in their LazyBoy chair and not do anything. And just take it easy. But that's not the kind of God that we serve. If you're on this battlefield for him, you're going to always be doing something to help somebody. But let me tell you this here. Let me tell you a secret here. If you love Jesus, we're not going to be satisfied with sitting around. If you love Jesus, you're not going to be satisfied with retiring. Because see, you'll never retire on this side of heaven. I heard that the joy comes in the morning, and your morning is not going to come here on this side of earth. Your joy is going to come in heaven. And when you get to heaven, you will rest. Long as you are on this battlefield, the Lord has something for you to do. Look at the book of Hebrews in the 4th chapter. The 9th to 11th verse, he tells us there remains a Sabbath rest for people of God. For whoever has entered God's rest has also rested from his works as God did from his. Let us therefore strive to enter that rest so that no one may fall by the same sort of disobedience. We ain't supposed to rest here, folks. We ain't supposed to retire. There remains a Sabbath rest. And this world is not our home. We're just passing through. Our retirement is up there. And we all have things that we need to do. Went to a nursing home one time to visit a lady. She had a stroke. She was paralyzed on the left side of her body. The whole left side was paralyzed all the way down. Her face had collapsed on the left side of her body. Her arm was useless. She was totally paralyzed. And it was very disconnecting visiting with her. And whenever I shared something with her about the church, she would cry. Whenever I would share something sad with her about the church, she would cry. Whenever I would share something good about the church, she would cry. No matter what I told her, she would weep. But then one day I came in to visit her. And she was seated at a small table. And she had her arm up holding a piece of paper and she was writing with her right arm. And I asked her, what was she writing? She says, I'm writing some encouragement notes to the church. I'm writing some notes to the people on the welcome team at the church and tell them to keep on the good fight. She says, I'm writing a note to the people back in the nursery and tell them to keep holding them babies. She says, I'm writing a note to the people in hospitality and keep putting them donuts out there. She says, I'm writing a note to the worship team saying, keep shouting hallelujah. She said, I'm writing a note to the security team saying, guard the walls for Jesus. She said, I'm writing a note for the communion team saying, keep serving the body of Christ. She said, don't give up. Don't give up. You still got a fight in you, regardless of what your situation is. You still can do something for God. And it made me think, if she still had that fight in her to serve Christ with the left side of her body totally paralyzed, what am I doing? What am I doing? And I can move. I can walk. She can't move. What am I doing? Will you say this? On this Labor Day weekend. Your labor is not in vain. Keep working for the kingdom, not to Taylor, not to Lakeside. But for Jesus. God bless you.